think is the most famous person to Gen Alpha and Gen Z on the planet right now? Here's an example. Donald Trump was the #1 most searched person in 2024 on Google, but to Gen Alpha and Gen Z, he was number 29 most searched person. Let's start by telling you who has been #1 in the past. There have only been 5 #1 celebrities in the history of famous birthdays. The first one was Justin Bieber. He was there for a while. He was replaced by Charli D'Amelio. You remember the TikTok reign? Everybody knows who these people are. These are massive celebrities. She was replaced by Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift stayed there for a long time. And then 2 years ago, something weird happened. Somebody new came on the scene. Somebody who has now been #1 for 2 straight years, solid, without being replaced once. And that person is my daughter, Salish. So, how in the world did this happen? How did this little squirt become #1 most searched person to Gen Alpha and Gen Z for 2 years in a row? If that's not impressive enough, guess who #2 is? You're looking at him. I know. And #3 is Salish's best friend, Nidal. So the top 3 most searched people by Gen Alpha and Gen Z are Salish, Salish's dad, and Salish's best friend. That is reach. And I'm going to tell you exactly how we did that. It's been a 5-year journey, I'm going to tell you. 2024 was a year of 34s for us. We had 34 million subscribers. We had 34 billion watch minutes. 34 billion. And 34% of our viewers, and this is important, watch multiple episodes every week. 27% of them watch an episode every day. But we only post once a week. So 6 times a week, they're going back and watching videos they've already seen. Why? Gonna tell you. This is the thing you might want to photograph if you care. These are the 3 R's for success: regularity, retention, and relationships. I'm now going to talk to you about all 3 of those things. Regularity. Okay, now, I'm going to tell you where I learned this. I started doing YouTube in 2017, and I was doing photography content at the time. I talked to my son about it. He was, at the time, 12 years old. And he said to me, "Dad, if you're going to do YouTube, 2 things. You have to be consistent and post every week. And #2, you have to expand your lane." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "If you're lucky enough to be successful at YouTube, it's because you found a lane. But if you stay in it too long, people are going to get bored and leave." So if I was doing photography content, which is what I was doing, and I suddenly started doing cooking, people would be like, "That's not why I'm here," and they would leave. But if I kept doing photography content for 7 years, we wouldn't have 34 million subscribers. So you want to expand your lane while staying consistent. So what happened was, first I started doing photography of dancers, and then I started doing photographies of celebrity dancers like Charli D'Amelio. And that expanded our lane. I was starting doing Addison Rae and Sophie Dossi and all these very popular dancers and contortionists. Expanded the lane. However, it was starting to get a little flat, and at that point, I started working with my daughter, Salish. And she was a 10-year-old gymnast at the time, so she was flexible, so I could photograph her. And what I noticed was, and this was really interesting, when I would work with Salish, we would get more engagement. Because now I was not just a fun dude taking pictures, I was actually a dad, and she was a kid, and we had a relationship. That's going to come back later. And that relationship started to be very important to the audience. So every time we would work together, more engagement. And then she was enjoying it and loving it. So we kept doing it and kept doing it year after year after year. And what did we do? We stayed regular. The first R, we were regular. If you look at this, this is the most recent screenshot of our videos. Every single week, we post every week. We do not miss a week. This is so important. Pick a day, pick a week. Every week, just do it, no matter what. Don't say, "Oh, the content's not ready. Oh, it could be better." Just make the video as best you can and post it. When you're talking about consistency, it's 2 things. It's consistency of schedule, but also consistency of quality. So you just have to do it well, and you have to do it weekly. We, for the first time in 2 years, missed the first week, last week, January 3rd. There were TikToks about the fact that our video wasn't up that week. People were making TikToks, filming the screen with hundreds of thousands of likes because they were all feeling it together. And what happens is when you stay consistent, you build a habit for the audience. Pick your favorite television show. When shows used to be every week rather than batched, would you suddenly take a week off if you were friends? Like, we're just not going to post this Thursday. Of course not. Absolutely not. You would make that show, and you would make sure it was seen every single week at the exact same time. Think about your content less like content and more like a television show. We had a meeting with Netflix recently, and I said to them, I want to thank you for all our views, because I've never thought of myself as competing against other YouTubers. I've been competing against you. I want to make a show good enough that it could be seen on television and on Netflix, because that's where people are. 70% of our viewers right now are on television, not on the phone. They sit down, they watch the show, it's a show to them, and since we've built up a habit, this is what happens in the first hour. This is a premiere. So in the first hour of one of our shows, it gets 344,000 viewers in the premiere, because they know that every morning at 7 a.m. on Saturday, a new show is coming up. Every week they know it's going to happen, it happens, and they're there to watch it, and they're super excited. Now, what does that tell YouTube? That tells YouTube, hey, this is popular, let's now send it to a wider audience. So we always get an immediate bump. We will get 1 million views in the first couple of hours, even if it's a 10 out of 10 video, because it's been pushed by YouTube. So that's number one, consistency, okay? Regularity. Please remember, most important key, you gotta stay consistent. If you wanna take time off, just don't do this career. This is not a time off kind of career. This is not a work-life balance kind of thing. Some people might get up here and say it is. It really isn't. For my daughter, it is. She films 1 day a week on Sundays. The other 6 days, we're building that video to make sure it's ready, so when she shows up on Sunday, it's ready to go. She gets to have her life as she should as a kid, but for us, serious full-time creators, it is a 7-day-a-week job, always. We are filming on Sundays, so Saturday night at 1 a.m., I'm still writing the script, waking up at 5 a.m., continuing to write it, and then we film all day. If you're ready for that kind of commitment, I guarantee you will be successful. If you're not ready for it, you won't be. It's that simple. These guys, they work their butts off. They literally flew in yesterday, they're gonna fly out tomorrow just because they have videos to shoot. That's what it takes. All right. Number 2, retention. I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember Bill Clinton, but, okay, nobody. Great. He was a president, and I was alive for that presidency. And he won the presidency by saying, it's the economy, stupid. And they wrote it on a whiteboard. It's the economy, stupid. For YouTube, if you want to have good retention, you got to tell good stories. It's really that simple. The length of time people watch a video is AVD. This is the views. Okay, so this video in the first 24 hours was underperforming our average, but it then went to overperform it by 13 million views. So how did that happen? One specific thing, the retention. If you look at that average view duration, it is 1.5 minutes over average. So when I saw that, I was like, we're gonna be fine. And look what happened. Even though it was underperforming for 5 days, you can see the graph. Suddenly on Thursday, we didn't make any change. It spiked straight up. Why? Because YouTube wanted to share it because it had a high AVD. What does that mean? That means that there's more people watching for longer, which means they can sell more ads. So the longer you can get people to watch your video, the more ads YouTube can sell, the more ads they can sell, the more they're gonna push it. So you gotta get your videos long. The goal is I would say 50% retention on a 30-minute video. Very specific. Hook the viewer in the first 30 seconds, right? Think about the viewer experience on YouTube. They're watching videos, they're scrolling. While they're watching your video, there's thumbnails of every other video they might wanna see right next to it. What is that? If you go on Netflix, you turn on a movie, you just see the movie. On YouTube, it's if you're bored, here, why don't you click on this? Constantly tempting you to go away to something new. Number 2, define the why, super important. Your protagonist needs to have a reason why they're doing what they're doing, okay? What motivates her to do what she's doing? Primary and secondary retention hacks. What that means is, the overall retention, everybody has a retention device. You're gonna get dumped with slime, you're gonna get $10,000, whatever. Those usually don't work. The things that work are emotional things, things that are personal to the protagonist. In this case, my daughter Salish is pretty much always the protagonist. And so that means whatever matters to her will matter to the audience. So in this case, we said she'll get my credit card to buy dinner, and she goes, oh, I know who I'm taking to dinner. Now you're like, okay, now I want to know, who are you taking to dinner? I'm like, I want to know who, I didn't know she was going to say that. Who are you taking to dinner? I don't know. I'm curious. And then there's a secondary retention hack. So the primary is who's she taking to dinner and what's she going to do with my credit card. The secondary retention hack is if she makes it through all the challenges, at the end, there's going to be a very scary clown, and I'm sure she won't make it through that. That might not seem like much, but because people are very familiar with her, they know she's terrified of clowns. There had been other videos where she was terrified of clowns. So now there's this promise that at the end, there's going to be this climactic moment. She's going to have to deal with her fear. That's a secondary retention hack, not primary. And then, sorry, there's a lot. Wow, I could go on. I'm going to cut this short, but one more thing. The third retention hack is within each scene, right? Within each scene, you want to make sure that there's a hook, so you follow these same rules, but you do it scene by scene. So that's how you get yourself to 50%. If you guys want to talk about this more, and I'm somewhere, just ask me, and I'll talk about it literally for 16 hours, because I love this nuance about it. It's very important. Okay, all right. Number 3, the third thing, relationships. This is also super important. Very important. Like I said early on, when I started, I was a photographer, pretty fun guy. I would take pictures of people and see what I could make them do. So it's like a late night talk show kind of, right? Like they would tune in to see the famous person I was photographing, and they were really curious to see what crazy stuff I'd make them do. They didn't know anything about me personally. When Sailors joined the channel, suddenly they knew a lot about me because they saw me in the capacity of a father. And it was unique because usually on YouTube, it's like the family unit, father, mother, 2 kids, 4 kids, 16 kids, whatever it is. For us, it was one specific relationship that hadn't been explored in depth on YouTube, and it really resonated with a lot of people. And then you start building the relationships out from there. So it started with me and Salish. There's Salish and her brother Hudson, who I showed you earlier. And then it became Salish and her best friend, Nidal. And now you see on Famous Birthdays, the 3 of us are all searched so much because of those relationships. The audience cares about Salish, so therefore they care about her relationships. And we've even built it out to the point where now the cameraman is a big relationship in the video because she talks to him all the time. It makes her more comfortable talking to the camera when she's talking to him. And now there's a bunch of TikToks about the 2 of them. It's really cool. This is what we did. Everybody should do this. Absolutely essential to do this thing. This is 5 qualities you want your audience to know about you. I used to give talks and not give this away. I was like, I'm going to keep that for myself. And now I'm feeling generous, and I'm 20 hours in for flight, and I'm tired, so I'm just going to say it. This is the most important thing we ever did. We said, what are the 5 qualities in Salish we want the audience to know? This is when she started, when she was 10. She's shy, she's an animal lover, she's a vegetarian, she's a gymnast, and she's unemotional. Okay, so now when we're building out the concept for the video, it can be anything. So now, let's say I'm controlling her life for 24 hours. So then I make her go buy Starbucks with nothing but pennies. And then she goes to the camera, oh God, I'm so shy. This is going to be awkward, but I'm going to do it. Years later, people come up to her and go, I'm so proud of you for overcoming your shyness. So what happens here? These are the kind of things that you only know about if you're good friends with somebody. That's why you do this, because then people feel like they know you better because they've seen these qualities in you, okay? So it reminds them, so right now, Salish is basically, she feels like your next door neighbor, your best friend, your older sister. That's her appeal, and that's because people feel like they know her very, very well. The last thing here, so these relationships are very important, not just for getting views and having longevity on YouTube, which is both very important, but also, if you want to go outside of YouTube and have a show or launch a product, the deeper the connection with your audience, the better. So when we're talking about relationships, we decided, we went 5 years doing content for free. We didn't try and sell any products. We never did any meet and greets, ever. And then we decided to launch skincare. So the first thing she wanted to do, it was skincare for teens, and it's called Sincerely Yours. So this was the skincare. She worked on it for 2 years. And we had no idea if anybody would want it because, like I said, we had this theory, a theory that if you built a connection with the audience, you built a relationship with the audience, over time that would pay off. Because remember, all these kids have grown up with Salish. From the time Salish was 10, they were 10. Now she's 16, they're 16. They've watched her every week consistently because we've been consistent in our posting. And now they feel like they've all grown up together and they feel very connected. So they have a lot of trust in her. So we decided to do a launch event, and we did it at the American Dream Mall, New Jersey in September, and we announced it, and we hoped hoped that 5,000 people would show up, which was like crazy. Sailors thought maybe it'd be 50 or 100. I was like, well, we have 5,000 samples, so let's really hope that 5,000 people came, but we really thought it'd be more like 1,000. But what ended up happening was we went to the same location that Jimmy, Mr. Beast, did when he launched Beast Burger 3 years ago. I don't know if you ever saw that. It was magnificent. 45,000 people. Everyone was like, there's no way. He's a star. This is crazy. 45,000 people. We went to the exact same location the same weekend 3 years later, and we doubled his number. We got 87,000 people. This was the first time literally we'd ever done anything, and this is what it looked like. And that is the power of relationships right there. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great time.